At 14:06 GMT, Spain disappeared. Not a metaphor, literally. Radars picked up nothing over the country. No planes, no drones, the airspace empty. At first, they thought it was a glitch. Then all surveillance cameras went dark. Every single one. At the exact same moment, the government said nothing. TV ran reruns. News channels stayed silent. People in Spain stopped answering calls. Social media flooded with questions. What's going on? Why is everything gone? Then, minute by minute silence. Absolute, dead, unbearable silence. After 9 minutes, everything came back. Cameras worked again. Planes reappeared on radar. People replied to messages like nothing had happened. But anyone who talked to them noticed something off. Their eyes, their tone. As if they knew something we didn't. My mom says we're not supposed to talk about the darkness, a boy tweeted. Then deleted it, but screenshots remained. A girl in Madrid said she woke up in broad daylight surrounded by darkness. Her phone showed the right time, but inside her apartment, it was night. I heard knocking, once, twice, then silence. Another user from Valencia posted. The light went out, and so did my son's voice. All those posts vanished quickly. The government denied it all, calling it a system error. But can a system error change human eyes? Because they were different. The people who were in Spain during those 9 minutes, they no longer laughed the same. They moved slower. Their gaze seemed empty. A German journalist said, I saw the eyes of someone who no longer believes in light, who vanished too. 3 days have passed. Spain eats, works, celebrates. But something feels wrong, like a chill that doesn't come from weather, but from within. If your country disappeared for 9 minutes, would you notice? And if not, did it really come back? What if you disappeared? A man named Emilio posted a video, shaky hands, wide eyes. I recorded the moment it happened, he whispered. The clip showed his living room, quiet, normal, then everything froze. Not like lag, time itself paused. The clock, the wind, even the curtains motionless. He whispered again. The sound stopped too. No birds, no cars. I could hear my own heartbeat. Then even that stopped. The video glitched. For 3 seconds, there was a face behind him, pale, expressionless, not his wife, not anyone they knew. Then it vanished. Some said it was a hoax, others tried replicating it. But Emilio was gone within 12 hours. His account deleted, phone disconnected. No one found at his address. Neighbors said the apartment was empty 4 months. But the curtains in the video matched perfectly. A scientist from Barcelona went live. We ran electromagnetic tests, she said. The pulse that hit Spain didn't come from inside Earth's systems. It came from above, not space, higher. When asked what that meant, she paused. Then the stream cut off. Since then, people have reported dreams, shared ones, as if all of Spain visited the same place during those 9 minutes. They describe a sky with no stars, a sea without water, and a voice calling from below. Always the same phrase, stay, you are seen. Airlines now avoid Spanish airspace for 9 minutes each day. Quietly, without announcements. A pilot leaked a memo. Do not speak to passengers during blackout window. Do not engage with anyone who appears new. The memo was quickly denied, but pilots know something crossed over. That's what they whisper now. Not ghosts, not aliens, something older, quieter, watching, listening. Have you ever felt like you're not alone in an empty room? Would you answer if something from the silence whispered your name? A child in Seville hasn't spoken since the blackout. Doctors say there's no physical damage, but he draws. Always the same, a tall shadow standing in a doorway, and people kneeling before it. One drawing had a caption, barely legible. We weren't supposed to see it. A priest in Bilbao held a sermon the next morning. He never finished. Mid-sentence, he stopped, stared upward, and screamed. Not words, just raw panic. He collapsed. Witnesses say his eyes turned completely black. Others claim they saw something behind the altar. Security footage from a hospital showed a hallway during the blackout. Lights flickered, then went out. For 11 seconds, a silhouette appeared. It didn't move. It didn't breathe. But every patient on that floor flatlined at the exact same moment. All were revived except one. That one patient, a woman in her 90s. She'd been in a coma for 7 years. She sat up during the blackout, whispered something in Latin, then died. The nurses who heard her said the words meant, "The seal is thin." The watchers return. The room is locked now. People say the animals noticed it first. Dogs howled, birds vanished, even insects went silent. A farmer said his cows stood completely still for 9 minutes, all facing north. They looked like they were waiting, he said. Like they remembered something we forgot. TV broadcasts that played during the blackout were analyzed. A single frame was found inserted for less than a second. It showed coordinates, a forest in Galicia. A team went there, nothing at first. Then their drone dropped from the sky. The footage cut to black. Only one frame from the drone remained, a shape, vast, buried in the trees. It wasn't man-made. It wasn't natural either. And around it markings, symbols no one could read. The teen never came back. What do you think happened to them? Would you go looking? A radio tower in Faragulthar recorded something strange. During the blackout, all channels went dead except one. A voice came through, male, calm, emotionless. It repeated, "This layer has fractured." Observation successful, then static. The message never aired again. Linguists studied the recording. The words were clear, but the voice had no traceable accent. No breathing, no audio flaws, just pure speech. One expert said it sounded like synthetic tone before human language evolved, not speech from now or here. Meanwhile, more people left Spain, not tourists, locals, quiet departures. Families packing in the night, no explanations, just gone. Border agents said many refused to speak, but all had one item, a blank page, folded into a triangle, tucked into their pockets. One man who fled left a note. "We've been warned," it read. 9 minutes was a scan. They didn't touch, just watched. But now they know we saw them. That breaks the rule. He didn't sign it. But the handwriting shook, as if written while trembling or running. The night after the event, a mountain in the Pyrenees glowed. Locals thought it was lightning. But the light had no source. It pulsed slowly. And with each pulse, clocks nearby gained to seconds. Only that region, only that night. Then it stopped. Satellite images from that night were corrupted. Pixelated squares, data loss, color distortions. NASA claimed solar interference, but a whistleblower leaked a single frame. It showed a circle perfectly cut into the mountain top, like a seal, like a hatch. No one talks about it on the news now. But people remember the silence, the air like glass, the sense of being seen from somewhere, far above. Do you believe in surveillance? Not by governments, by something older and patient. Would you dare look up? A group of hikers in Sierra Nevada went missing during the blackout. All experienced climbers, their GPS trackers froze for exactly 9 minutes. When contact resumed, only one returned, barefoot, covered in ash. He whispered one word before collapsing, underneath. In Madrid, a subway train stopped between stations during the event. Passengers reported total darkness, no lights, no sounds. One girl lit her phone. In the reflection of the window, they saw a face. Not their own, not human. Smiling, but wrong. Then the lights returned. A baby born during the 9 minutes hasn't blinked. Doctors are baffled. He eats, sleeps, cries normally, but never blinks. And he stares at corners as if watching something invisible. His mother says he smiles in his sleep, and sometimes he whispers back. A man in Valencia set up microphones during the blackout. Not just audio infrafrequencies, he captured a sound no one can explain. A hum that seemed to come from below the ground. When slowed, it resembled a pattern. One engineer translated it. Coordinates again. This time, the location was the Strait of Gibraltar. Sonar scans sent by a private firm showed a massive, symmetrical structure deep underwater, solid, angular, not rock. Divers approached, but lost all communication at exactly 9 p.m. Signal since. More people report shared dreams. A room with no doors, a ticking sound from above. A long corridor that bends slightly left forever. In every dream, something waits at the end. But no one reaches it. They always wake up just before. Some wake up screaming. There's talk of another blackout. Quiet warnings on private forums. The veil thins again. One post read, "The watchers are not done. If it happens again, would you want to remember what you saw? Or would forgetting be safer? What would you choose?" A university lab in Salamanca detected an anomaly. During the blackout, their atomic clock, one of the most precise on Earth, ran backward. Not fast, just 1 second, but time doesn't do that. When it corrected, every test subject in the lab had nosebleeds, all at once. A woman from Granada claimed she didn't return alone. "It looks like me," she said. "But it's not me." Her husband laughed until she showed him the scar on her shoulder. It was gone. The thing in her house had no scar. No birthmark, just perfect imitation. Some claim they hear whispers through power lines at night. Only in Spain, a frequency just above normal hearing. Dogs bark at it. One man recorded it and slowed it down. It wasn't static, it was breathing. Slow, steady, and not human, not meant for ears. Emergency responders were the first to report it. Roads shifted, literally. GPS routes twisted. Maps became unreliable. A fire crew drove 10 minutes down a straight road only to find themselves back where they started. Trees had moved, signs reversed. A historian noticed something else, a gap in Spain's satellite archive. March 12, 1977. A day erased. No photos, no data, no headlines. But in old diaries, people mention a strange quiet, 9 minutes, just like now, forgotten. Until now, what happened then? Psychics say the number 9 is a boundary. The last single digit, the final step before something new. Something unknown, one wrote, they count in 9s. Their windows open in that time. They don't step through yet. But they're learning how to knock. The ground feels different now, soft in places where it should be solid. People feel watched in empty rooms. And sometimes, reflections lag, just for a blink. But it's enough. Do you trust your reflection? Are you sure it always follows you? At the same time, a journalist in Toledo received an envelope. No return address inside. 7 photos, all of Spain, taken from above. In each, the shadow of the country was slightly off as if the sun had shifted. But only in those photos. The timestamps matched the blackout. He posted them online. Within minutes, his account vanished. Hours later, his apartment burned down. No official cause. Witnesses say they saw men in suits arrive first. No badges, no questions, just in, out, gone, the photos. Archived, reposted, then gone again. A teenager recorded a TikTok during the blackout, just dancing. But frame by frame, behind her, shadows moved wrong, not flickering, crawling. Against the light, one paused mid-air. It had shape, fingers. The video went viral, then her account deleted itself. In a church in Cordoba, the crucifix cracked down the middle. No force, no quake. It split as the bells rang 9:15, exactly 9 minutes after the event. Inside the crack, old text burned into the wood. He's not first, he's not last, he's simply watching. More earthquakes now, small, measured, but always timed 9 minutes past the hour. Seismologists are baffled. The epicenters don't align with fault lines. It's like the Earth itself is responding to something. Or warning, like a pulse, like a signal coming up. Psych wards are filling. Patients repeat the same things. The lights don't lie. They took the sky off. Don't answer the mirror. Doctors call it mass hysteria. But how do hundreds hallucinate the same phrases, same symbols, the same sound? We used to believe the sky was the limit, that nothing watched from the dark, that time moved forward, always. Now, people double-check their shadows. They sleep with lights on. And listen, if this happens again, would you stay? Or would you run before it ends? The last recorded incident came from a lighthouse in northern Spain. The keeper made a distress call at 3:06 a.m. The sea's gone, he said. It's still dark, but there's no water, just black. Breathing. When the Coast Guard arrived, the tower was empty, bone dry. His journal was found. Final page. They asked me to look, just once. I did. It looked back. The rest was scribbled out, except for one line repeated over and over. I am not where I was. The ink ran like it had wept, like something bled through the page. Across Spain, clocks are being covered. People say they tick louder now. Some claim they skip. Others swear they slow it to 57 p.m. exactly 9 minutes before the blackout began. Like something is counting down, not to return, but to finish what began. No country has formally acknowledged what happened. But certain skies are now off limits, airspace rerouted, satellites blurred. One leaked memo from NATO had 3 words redacted in every line except the last. It will not stop. What won't stop? A little girl drew a picture in class, a map of Spain with a tear in the middle. That's where the sky opened, she told her teacher. They wanted to see if we'd scream. Her parents were called. They denied ever telling her about the blackout or anything like it. Something changed that day. Maybe not in Spain, maybe in us. In what we think is real, what we trust. They didn't come to invade, or speak, or save. They came to study, and maybe choose. You ever felt time stop? Not metaphorically, really stop. Would you know if it already has? Would you trust your memory, your heartbeat? The sound outside your window? What if it's already happening again? And we just haven't noticed yet?